Welcome to the game of Risk, everyone. I'm your host, OliveXC, a top player at this game, and today we are doing Tutor Tuesday, where I review a subscriber game and help them, and you the viewer, get better at the game of Risk. Today's game comes from Risk Master Gabe, a Grandmaster ranked Risk player, and he is one of the original Risk YouTubers. He was so huge back in the day, and he ended up taking a break from YouTube, but he's getting back into it now, so go check him out. We have a 4-player progressive Risk game right here, so some very unique settings, very dynamic, and generally ends pretty quickly. You'll notice that given that there's only 4 players on the board, the individuals aren't just trying to spread out, right? Because when there's only 4 people, it can be very, very easy to just try to get a continent of your own, right? If you're able to get and hold a continent, you can get very strong very quickly. You can see red immediately holding Australia, orange immediately holding South America, white quickly getting a position for Africa, and red also moving out of the way of our protagonist, blue, showing strong communication on Gabe's end to really work with the other players in order to advance the game. The Gabe, who's still on over 14 territories, that's very, very good given that there's only 42 territories on the board. You're now holding the North America region. One thing I noticed is that you're having a complete full border on both sides, even though you have an alliance with the orange player. One thing I may have considered doing, that instead of leaving a light guard like this, you could potentially leave some troops right here, and that may be helping you out a little bit more. So that way orange doesn't feel threatened. And also you can have leave a large stack right here, so in case you do get attacked, it's minimal damage for you. The white player also, we can see, because they fortified out the 5. They're trying to give you a pathway open to leave, although you're still kind of stuck with this 11. But they're hoping that you use up your 3 so they can take the region. But given the game is not going to be that long, you need to be a little careful about what you want to do. You make, I think, a little bit of a mistake. You place all of your troops down here in Africa. You're hoping that white doesn't retaliate against you, because white clearly wants Africa. You'll have to remember, even though this is a 4-player progressive game right here, players treat this more like fixed, and it's only at the very end they may choose to treat this like a progressive game. So certainly, if you want to hold those troops for 1 turn, that's not a big deal. But if you leave it there for multiple turns, you're just going to be creating problems. And I think this is a mistake of you right here, leaving these troops in, because you're putting the white player in a hard place, right? Like, see, they ended the alliance with you. They're clearly upset with you and what you've done. If you are going to be making an antagonistic move towards another player, what you at least need to do is try to protect your borders a little more, or I think the better thing to do, don't protect them at all. Just leave a 1 and right here, so that way if the white player chooses to invade you, you only take minimal losses. Here you're taking quite a few losses. Now, since you had North America for a few turns, you still have plenty of troops, so the game is still going to be fine for yourself. And I love what red is doing, by the way, leaving this 15. It's just leaving you trapped, and it's creating that little bit of tension between you and the white player. Beautiful move by red. These are the things that I just personally love to see from other players. Red is not very spread out, but in a 4-player game, it can sometimes, the set bonuses may not get big enough fast enough in order to make a difference. So the continental bonus does matter. As long as red holds Australia, they'll be fine. Same way, as long as orange holds South America, they'll be fine. Only thing I can fault orange for is there's no reason to leave a 7 right there. I would leave it at most a 4 to basically have same tension with like your border, maybe like a 3 or 2. You got to keep your armies open and progressive in order to attack the other players. We can see your biggest army is like right here, and it's able to attack red. It can attack the majority of orange, and it can go into white. So we can see now on your first trade-in, by the way, you're doing a nice thing right here where you're really thinking about the card and where you want to get your extra troops. You're also doing a nice thing getting out of Africa. You can see now that as the sets start getting bigger, continents matter less and less. You've also forced the white player to trade in early, so they have a lot less troops than you. And you're also basically hoping that white doesn't attack you anymore. So if you are able to get the right opportunity for yourself, you can eliminate the players and potentially take the game. Unfortunately though, it's not worth it to eliminate any player for their cards. With 4-player progressive, players can get troops faster than the card bonuses go up, especially like in the short term. Since there's only been one round of trade-ins right now, the set bonuses are worth around, let's see, 4, 6, 8, 12. That means each card's worth about 4 troops. So someone with 5 cards is only worth about 20-ish troops. And the players right now are at 40. It's not worth it to be eliminating anybody right now for their cards in progressive. You could potentially eliminate white here, but I think what you did here is fine. Waiting and holding for your right opportunity. By leaving your one main stack in the middle of the map, you're giving yourself the maximum amount of flexibility. But your opponents are also recognizing this. Orange has a nice stack right here. Red has a nice stack. Really, I haven't really seen any major mistakes from the players right now. So the way that someone's going to win is through very exemplary skill rather than someone making a series of mistakes. So the players right now are just continuing the card trade, waiting for the right opportunity. And our protagonist, Risk Master Gabe, is continuing to save their wild card when they can, because you never know when you have to do a trade on 3. Wild cards are particularly precious and progressive when the cards really matter. So eventually you're going to have to find an opponent that you are going to want to eliminate. My money is still on the white player. The only thing you have to be careful about with white is that they have a position right here in Africa, and it allows them to stay spread out. It's important to remember when it comes to progressive that while the continents do matter like a little bit, what matters more is spreading out to take out players when it's worth it for their cards. Yeah, so since Gabe is the strongest player, he trades in, he continues to save his wild. So this is very beneficial. And the luck box that is Gabe manages to use the 2v1 to get value out of his troops. But the traders are getting pretty high now, 20, 25. Like at some point, someone needs to make a move. Otherwise, the trade-ins will get so high that it will no longer be worth it to eliminate someone for their cards. And the game can enter a stalemate scenario in which everybody gets bored. And I don't let my subscribers get bored. You guys are gonna be seeing a very high quality finish to this video. Like if you got to the halfway point and you want to see the end, trust me, you guys are gonna love the end of this. Clearly, our protagonist Gabe, because he has the biggest content, he has to attack someone. I can't be orange because like there's like around 10 troops of value blocking orange, so it doesn't make sense attacking them. Little mistake right there, not turning like the slider off. Or sorry, the dice off. But not the end of the world per se. Again, you really haven't been making many mistakes this game, which is why you're in a dominating position. At some point though, you need to pull the trigger. And where is that trigger going to be? Because you can see the white player, they are not getting cards anymore. For many reasons, this is stupid. One, eventually the cards will get so exponentially high that the white player will no longer be needed for the balance of the game, and they may just get like eliminated immediately. And two, they left their army mostly in a blocked spot, given that the 53 of orange is blocking them. This is, I think, the most significant mistake that any player has made all game, because before all the players were playing rather competently, which is why the game was naturally entering like a period of stalemate. Orange does trade in though. They're on one card, and now we're in like the situation of should Gabe trade in and take out a player? And Gabe, he decides to go for the red player. And by the way, oh my gosh, Gabe, this is a good move. And this is a huge mistake right here. You see that Gabe only left 6 troops to attack? That is really bad, because if the 6 troops didn't take off 4 territories, you lose the game. Right then and there, you just lose, because then the white player like sweeps in, or the red player trades in and kabooms and slams all their troops into you. Like that's just how it is. So if you're going to be attacking, like, don't take a risk. If you're taking over the Australia continent, you need about 8 troops in order to take over the 4 territories. In all my time of gaming, I saw one player fail taking 3 territories with a 7 once. I've never seen someone fail taking 4 territories with an 8. So have 8, you'll be fine. Orange, by the way, is now breaking you very hard. It looks like they are being very antagonistic, and as they should be. Like, you're pretty close to dominating the game, and you need to figure out how you're going to stop this, because we know that white certainly isn't going to be doing anything attacking right now. So Gabe, you make a really nice call right here. Well, I thought you were going to be taking Australia and then parking your troops like in China or something. So instead you just break it. So it's alright move. I would have just taken over Australia completely, because again, you're knowing that white isn't doing anything. In the 3-player situation, it could be a little more dangerous, because if you antagonize a player too much, they just may decide to, again, slam all the troops into you out of anger at some point, giving the game away to the other player. But Gabe, you do have a set, and you are trading in, so how are you going to take out this game further? It looks like you're hitting orange a lot within Asia, and now you finally take Australia. I would have done that last turn, but so far this is a really nice 3-player endgame. You can't take them out though, because again, their 97 is between like your armies here. If, however, white leaves a stack of 5 right there, you now do have the pathway to get in. If orange doesn't have the set, and oh my gosh, they don't have the set. Guys, I think we got an opportunity right here. And Gabe is one of the best Grandmasters out there. He recognizes immediately that the orange player is weak. You get a huge attacker's advantage, and Gabe gets a plus 15 roll. Gives me a heart attack by using 3 troops again to take out a territory. Just use 7 or 8, man. Come on. But then now, Gabe, all you have to do is smack that 92. Just smack that 92. Now, you do have a little bit of time. One thing that would be a little... You get a great roll right here. When the roll is like 0%, when like you have so much less, it's actually better to manual roll a little bit to try to get some better dice odds for your first couple of rolls, and then blitz at the very end. But textbook incredible play. And if you guys are enjoying this content, please consider subscribing and follow me on Twitch. But with that, this is OliveXC signing off.